Good evening, good morning, good afternoon. How y'all doing? Welcome to Orgasmic Conscious Cooking with yours truly, Big Daddy John. Guess what's on the menu tonight? Well, let me back up. I had a special guest, but she got sick and she'll be back with us later. Vanessa White, dear friend, one of my oldest friends from Portland. She's going to come on here and show you guys an alternative to coffee that she has created herself. This is probably one of my most humanoid creative friends that I know. She got sick. Her grandbaby got sick, so she stayed at home because I was like, I don't want that here. So you got me tonight. We're gonna do some exploring. I have a consciousness concept, and guess what we making? Chicken soup. So let me ask you this. We're gonna get this started so I could talk about things later. But I want this because I'm gonna need a little time for this to cook. I don't know if you guys can see this. I don't want to knock it over. This is an Instapot, okay? I don't know if the other cameras up there. Maybe I don't know. Okay, hopefully you can see that. Okay, this is Instapot. This is my best friend. You know, you're home and you think about what am I gonna have for dinner the next couple of days or the next day. You say, that's gonna take a lot of time because I have to drive home from work. This dear friend, I could put it in the morning, set the timer. It starts about 4:30. By the time I get home at 7 o'clock, dinner's done. Even beans. Plus, it has the capability. Back up. How many of you guys eat beans and you're like, oh my God, I can't anymore because they make me gassy? That was my problem in the past. Not with my new helper, Instapot. It actually is able to destroy the lectins, which gives you gas. Kind of interesting. At the same time, you know, Sunday, you go to Costco, you do some shopping, you will do some yard work. It's spring, right? And you want to cook a quick dinner. You're like, well, how am I going to do that? So you go and buy a Costco chicken. You eat on the chicken maybe for dinner. The next day you might cook some pasta, cut some chicken up in it. Next day you have chicken salad. And then you look at this carcass. This is a Costco chicken carcass. What I did earlier, I put it in the freezer after I finish eating off of it. Now you want to make sure you don't eat off of it by your hand because saliva is not your best friend with most foods. It starts to break it down and it can make you sick. And that's nasty. But what you can do is you keep it in the freezer. You put 3 quarts of water. You put the chicken in there, and I let the chicken cook up until about 24 minutes. It starts to break down the bones, and the marrow from the bones comes out. It gives an extra chicken flavor. I pull this out. Before I do that, what did I do? Oops. My wife's gonna be like, "You had to get out of the camera." Grab this. I want to make sure I keep the meat cool so it doesn't make anybody sick. So this is the chicken that I pulled off of the chicken. This is the body. It went in the Instapot for 24 minutes. It cooked up. The skin, the bones start to cook down. Now, is anybody out there have a pet? Like cat, dogs, or anything like that? Guess what? Now your cat or your dog can eat chicken. You take this chicken, you can either pull the bones out and give them the fat and the chicken, or grab this. You guys see this. Your handy dandy Vitamix. You put that in there with a little water. Bam. Homemade cat food. Coco's over there looking like, oh my God, is that what's for dinner tonight? That's what's for dinner tonight. So what I'm trying to say is this chicken has a lot of little contributions it can make to make your life a lot easier. Okay? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna season up my base real quick. Okay? So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take all of my vegetables. Let me grab me a spoon. Oh, my friends, this is what I like about doing my own gardening. Somebody said, "What's my favorite things to do other than cook?" Gardening. These are fresh bay leaves right out of my garden. I just pulled them just before we got online. Put that in there. And then have mushrooms, tarragon, potatoes, red and yellow potatoes, celery, onion, garlic, ginger, and chili pepper. Now, some people use black pepper for soup, for chicken soup. In the last 3 or 4 months, my wife and I have been on this kick with chili pepper. It's going to give it a little bit of bite. But oh my God, it's so much more orgasmic. And the flavor from the chili peppers, oh, make you go, yeah. Anyway, let's get this in here. Now, this is the interesting piece. I don't get this on me. So it's a sprig of tarragon in there too. So, and carrots, I hope I said the carrots. You can see the carrots, right? Voila. Okay. So what I want to do is I took some of the chicken broth off because I want you guys to see what the chicken broth looks like. Okay. This is the chicken broth. You guys can see that, right? I don't want to spill it. Okay. I don't take all the fat out of my chicken broth. Some people skim their chicken broth, they make it clear. I like that fat because it actually gives more flavor to the chicken. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pour the rest of this liquid in here. I'm gonna make sure it doesn't go over the maximum line because when things cook under pressure, you gotta make sure that it's enough space. Okay? So I love garlic. Remember, I put 4 cloves of garlic in here, right? I'm gonna put about 2 tablespoons of granulated garlic. Okay. I'm gonna take a tablespoon of Italian seasoning. I'm gonna put 2 tablespoons. Now, this is my favorite, better than bouillon. It's organic and it has the greatest flavor. I use this in lieu of salt. So I'm not gonna add any salt to my soup because I'm gonna use 2 tablespoons of the chicken bouillon and 1 tablespoon of the garlic roasted bouillon. So, 1, 2. And they're pretty much heaping spoons. Look, voila. Okay, set this over here. And a tablespoon of garlic bouillon. Stir that around in there. All the flavor. Guys, I wish you guys could see this. I have to get another camera so you can see the aerial view of this. I'm sorry. I know Gino's probably saying, when are you going to get that? I will very soon. Now, I do something totally different. Remember I told you Orgasmic? I've gone to Southeast Asian restaurants, and they use this thing called fish sauce. One of my favorite new finds. I put that in a lot of my soup and a lot of my stews. It gives it a, what is it? A tropical flavor. It gives a fish. It's fishy. It's actually anchovies, made out of anchovies. And it's salty. So I don't need to add any more salt. It's gluten-free. I buy this one, it's gluten-free, and it doesn't have any MSG because I'm allergic to MSG. But it gives it that flavor that when you eat, you're like, what is that? A lot of times it's fish sauce. So I'm gonna put 2 tablespoons of that in. Actually 3. I like my fish sauce. Stir that. Now, get this, you guys. In 5 minutes, we put this on pressure. You hear it singing? Oh my God. Okay, let's pressure cooker. I'll reduce it down to 5. Let's do 6 minutes. And in 6 minutes, guess what? You'll have soup. Dinner will be done. So, what was I saying? So, it's singing. Can you hear it? La la la! Chicken noodle soup. Yes, chicken noodle soup. Now, this is the different things you can do. You can use noodles. You can use rice. But because I have potatoes in here, I'm not going to put another starch. You can, but I'm not. Because I have potatoes, carrots. Those are 2 starches in there. And what I have is basil. And you might say, why didn't I put the basil in with the rest of the ingredients? Remember I told you I go to Southeast Asian restaurants a lot? And what they do is they break the basil up on top of the soup once the soup is prepared. I love that flavor. And the other piece is that you can add other meats into this soup. You can use shrimp, you can use baked chicken, you can use dried shrimp, whatever your heart desires. You're actually able to control your sodium amount. Now, my wife said, well, the chicken that you have from Costco has a sodium level in it. I say, yes, but I'm not adding any additional. I get my salt from my bouillon and my fish sauce. Also, you might ask yourself, is chicken soup healthy? What do you guys think? It is. There is an attribute. I'm going to tell you the history. I'm going to tell you about the health in a second. But I want to make sure that you guys understand that you do not have, oh, Tori said something, Thai sausage. I love Thai sausage in my soup. Thai sausage has this sweet, salty taste that actually kicks it up a bunch of notches. And it actually is very good for you for colds. Yeah, Gino, so yes. So the other piece with this, I'm jumping all around here, but in 5 minutes, the vegetables in the soup won't cook up. It's going to reach a temperature, and it might take a little bit longer than I expected. So I'm going to have to stretch my time with you guys tonight. But my point of what I want to prove to you tonight is that it won't take you forever. Now, the secret was that most of the ingredients were warm that was going in the pressure cooker. If you actually put cold ingredients in, it takes longer time for it to heat up and create a pressure. And you can't hear it or feel it, but when I put my hand on top, you can start to feel this gurgling, and you're gonna hear this whistle for a second, and this metal gadget's gonna pop up, and it's gonna cook under pressure. I think it's the greatest find for those individuals who have to work and eat, and if you want to be healthy in your eating. So, where I was going? So you see this? I'm gonna show you something. Because the pressure cooker, the bones just break apart like that, and it releases flavor. Now, you heard of chicken bone broth and beef bone broth. This is divine. Recently, Tori and I, with a couple of friends, purchased a half a cow, and we have beef bones. And I was like, well, what am I going to do with that? If you go to any store now, you look on the shelf door in the soup section, you find this beef broth and this chicken broth, chicken bone broth, beef bone broth and chicken bone broth. Is that not a tongue tire? And what happens is they're actually there's more flavor in the bones. I had a friend of mine that I used to work with. He told me he used to save the bones. Now, this was weird to me. He said when they were eating, they would save the bones. He would clean them and then use them in his soup. I just can't do that. Anything that hits my mouth goes into the garbage. I know that you can wash them all, you can soak them all, but I think this might be a little bit healthier, especially with what's going on right now. Any questions from anybody? Well, I want to show you something else, okay? While we're waiting for this to cook up. Hopefully it won't take forever. Okay. So, also, I kind of created my own chicken sausage flavor. And let's say you had some extra things in the fridge that you didn't want to go to waste, and you was like, what am I going to do with this? There was a dear friend of mine, Kevin Bowers, who used to work with me in Multnomah County. He was the one who introduced me that you didn't have to waste anything in your fridge if you were willing to be creative. And I'm going to tell you guys a hint. Many restaurants come up with concept and ideas of new soups, new dishes, because they don't want to throw out a protein that was used earlier in the week. So they usually make some type of salad with it, or they create a soup. And these days, where things might be kind of tight for people, you can actually really stretch out your protein, and it actually can be a huge contribution to your bankroll and your family. And there's nothing better than cooking your own healthy food. I am a proponent of cooking your own food. So getting back to this chicken. So this chicken, Tori and I had this last night. And what I decided is like, I'm always thinking, and I'm probably going to do this for you guys one day. I was like, what would things taste like? And so I'm going to talk about consciousness for a second. Have you ever been able to expand out, like not your body, but your being? And you can go place and you have experience, you're like, what is that? Or like, when you dream about something and you're like, wow, I wonder, could I really create that? Well, you can. In my world, I do that with cooking all the time. Yeah, Tori says a whole chicken is like 3 meals. Yeah. And the chicken is at Costco, I want to say, is it $5 or $6? And if you're worried about the fat, I like the fat because it gives the flavor in the soup, but you can pull it off. And that's usually what I do when we eat the chicken, we eat the skin on the wings, but the other skin and fat is saved for when I create the soup base. So I'm driving down the road and I'm like, I told Tori, take out some chicken thighs. And what would I do with organic chicken thighs? Now, I know some people was like, is there a difference? For me, it's a difference because it tastes totally different. Totally different. Somebody said, can you tell? I'm gonna give you guys some background. No disrespect about Popeyes. I used to love Popeyes. But the last time I went to Popeyes, I got sick. And it wasn't that the food was bad. It's just, it's so chemically, if that's the word. A lot of chemicals in it. And when you look at an organic chicken, now I'm not saying Costco chicken is organic chicken, but they usually use no hormones in the chicken. That's one of the things that I like. Okay. But sometimes in fast food restaurants, the chickens have so many steroids that it actually looks like, I was going to say a turkey, but more like an ostrich. They look amazing. Yes. I don't know what looks amazing. Maybe me or the chickens. So I'm assuming that you're talking about the chickens. You can let me know if I'm on the right page or not. But I think that's Laura. Is that Laura? I can't see. The picture's so small. I guess I need new glasses, Dory. But anyway, I went to Popeyes. I ate the chicken. My daughter talked me into getting this chicken sandwich, and we were going to go to the movies afterwards. It was the worst daughter date I had. It wasn't my daughter at all. It was the blank chicken. Chemical, 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 chemical. And my body knew immediately. So hence, I go to Costco. And it's usually a little bit, probably like $1 more a pound sometimes, maybe a little bit more. But we buy the organic chicken, we keep it in the freezer, take it out. Hence, my story of this chicken has orange juice, olive oil, maple syrup. I'm gonna tell you a story about some maple syrup too. Garlic, chili flakes, and a little salt. I marinate it, let it sit for about a half hour. Usually I like to have things done, marinate for at least a day, at least chicken. Now beef, you can't do that because beef will dry out. We can talk about that later in a different show. But anyway, I took that, put it on the grill, and I took the base, lessons of the day, eat at home. Yeah, Tori, you're right. Eat at home. You'll eat a lot more healthy and you'll save money and you won't be putting yourself up for food poison for somebody who did not wash their hands. Do you know that most food poison comes from not bad food anymore in the United States, but boo-boo hands? I hate to tell you that. Kind of gross. Anyway, segue. I do that all the time. So I took this chicken, and as the chicken was cooking, I slowly go out, and I had that marinade left. So I would slowly spoon that over the chicken on the grill, and it would sizzle, and it started turning golden brown, and the flavor. Oh my God, crazy flavor. It's like nothing in this world. I just couldn't get enough of it. So I came to the fridge this morning and I said, what am I going to fix for these guys tonight? I was like, chicken soup. And I had 2 thighs left over. So I chopped them up. But guess what else was in the pan? These potatoes. And I wish I could say I created it myself, but I got it off Food Network. Let me show you. Small potatoes, right? Wash them up, give them a bath in the sink, dry them off, put them in boiling salty water. Let them boil until they're tender, that you can poke them with a fork. Probably about 25 minutes, maybe 30. Depends on your oven or your stovetop. But you got to watch it. Pour the water out, let them cool, sit them on the side. Take some parchment paper. As you guys can see, I'm killing time until this goes up, okay? So I'll maybe give you a lesson for last night's dinner. Some parchment paper, friendly parchment paper from Costco. Put that on the pan. Makes it easy cleanup. Easy clean. I'm gonna make this really easy for you. You take the potatoes as they boil, and you take a glass cup, and you squash them. And so they go, right? But before you do that, you take some pepperoni or salami, and you line it on the paper. You chop it up first. You put it in the oven at 450, and let the oils, you guys feeling me? The oils from the pepperoni run across the sheet. You put the potatoes on top, put a little olive oil on top, you put salt and pepper, you cook them in the oven for about 20, 24 minutes, you turn them midway. They get crunchy, not as crunchy as a potato chip, but sort of kind of. Best potatoes that Tori and I have had for a long time. I think since I found that, we've had it like 3 times in 2 weeks. I know. But you don't have to eat a lot because, see, you're not eating a huge potato. Okay. Can anybody tell me what this is called in French? Come on, come on, come on. Any French people out there? I might come back to that. So, what was I talking about? Okay. The history of chicken soup. Let me see if I can find this. Okay. You guys still with me? Sorry for the delay, but it's doing its thing. I'm gonna show you something else in a second. So, chicken soup is made from what? Chicken. Okay. There's points of history that it came from Asia, Europe, but the most important piece that I found is that the time period, the Neolithic period, people start to boil things. You know, beings walking around boiling things, right? So they took a chicken that was, I guess, running across the road. I guess that chicken didn't make it across the road. What came first? The chicken or the egg? I guess the egg did in this case. But anyway, it grabbed the chicken, put it in some boiling water, boom. And there you have it. The chicken was boiled during the Neolithic period. So we've been eating that for a long time. I don't remember what the ingredients they said. Let's see if I can find this. Preparation, nutritional value. Chicken soup can be relatively low-fat food, can be removed by chilling the soup after cooking and skimming the layers of fat from the top. Increases the calcium content of the soup when cooked at an acidic, but not a neutral pH. And people were like, has anybody heard about eating chicken soup? And I can't remember the chemical, but I found that to be true. There's a chemical when you cook chicken soup that actually helps for colds for your immune system. I don't remember the name of the chemical in it, but I looked that up earlier. Okay, it just popped up. So now we have 6 minutes. Now I'm going to have to kill 6 minutes worth of time. I'm going to see if I can show you guys. Oh, I did show you about the chicken. Okay, now I'm going to tell you a story about this chicken. Okay, I have a bougie cat. If you've ever been to my house, her name is Coco. Coco eats chicken. Now, not like little pieces, but she will grub down on chicken. She's sitting across the room. When I said chicken, she looked up, you know. She must be my cat because Tim Logan said that I sure do love chicken. We were talking about what we love to eat. Chicken is one of those things. So anyway, when I take this chicken out, some people like to chop it, but I like to actually pull it apart so it becomes the flavor. And when I put it in a soup, it won't cool it off totally. It actually will allow the chicken to actually flavor without getting tough. Now, the other piece that I want to say that's what I was thinking about. Okay. So if you put the chicken in the first time when I made the broth, the chicken becomes rubbery and a lot of the flavor that I want to stay in the chicken will go into the base, soup base. That's not good. You don't want that. That's not something that's beneficial to you. So I want to see if I can grab this. I don't know if my wife put this in the right place. I can't find it. So I'm gonna show you guys this. 1 second. Working off the time. Okay. Somebody's at the door to where you might want to check it out. So anyway, this is the other piece. I make a lot of soups. A lot of people in my job have tried my soups. But this is the other way of actually saving time. When you make soups, I'll let this cool tonight and I'll buy plastic containers. When I was going to work all the time, I would take my soup to work, put it in the microwave, which I hate microwaves because I don't even have one, but that's something we had to work. And I would heat it up and voila. So guess what? Not only will you have 3 meals, but the remainder soup will continue to feed you too. The importance of cooking, and if you're on a budget, it actually really saves you a lot of money. You just have to be willing to spend the time in preparing it. It's a lot of love in that. Tons of love. Okay. I'm moving along. Hopefully my time moves along. I'm like, I didn't know that it was going to take this much time. So anybody use a pressure cooker? Anybody? Okay. You understand pressure cooker, it waits for the pressure to get up and it's cooking. And I can hear things like boiling and I might stop it so you guys can see a little bit of it. So I'm not going to force you guys to stay here the entire evening. So, but what I'm going to do right now is one of the things when I started thinking about doing this live on Facebook and on YouTube is that two things that I really, really love is one is cooking. And recently, in the last 5, 6 years, I've actually stepped into the space of, hey, Connie, what's up? Chicken soup tonight. This consciousness piece, matter of fact, Connie is one of these individuals I'm working on because we have this project that we're still got in the lab. I'm not going to let anybody know about it yet. Consciousness is that ability to truly live free. Sexy Me too. I do. I do not know who Sexy Me 200 is, but thank you for being here. I do. I do what? But anyway, please let me know what you do. So consciousness, now 6 minutes exactly now, it's saying to me, in 6 minutes we'll have some soup. So you guys gonna have to hang out with me and I'm gonna have to stretch out my time, but it won't be beyond 6 minutes. Okay. So consciousness for me is the whole aspect of being in a total awareness and allowance and not judging. Guess who you don't want to judge the most? Guess who you judge the most? Do you think you judge the person out in the street or the person in the car driving on the street? Nah. Guess we judge. We judge us. And sometimes we're not very kind with that judgment. Like we've become very harsh, very mean spirit towards ourselves. And there was a time where I was becoming very burned out with my work at the county. Some of you guys know I work at Multnomah County here in Portland, Oregon. And I started to step into this field of consciousness. And I've been doing meditation and I've been working with people for a long time. And I've always been conscious. This is not, I don't think, hey, what's up, sister? I don't think You just find it. You're there. It's like being on a journey. So consciousness is like being on a journey of actually searching for you. And when you start searching for you, you start finding things that you might want to change, but you don't have to. You can just stay in the question unless it will create a contribution to a greater living. So I said that when I was going to do the show that I wanted to have conversations with people and offer different tools so that they have a little bit lighter way of living. I don't know if this happens to you, but sometimes I wake up, or not even just waking up, but also when I wake up and I'm like, now, 6 years ago, it would be like, the sky is falling. Chicken Little, hence chicken soup. Get it? Joke. But recently, I realized that there's a lot of awareness out there, tons of awareness. And a lot of times that awareness is miscalculated, misunderstood, and we think it's ours. And I'm one of those individuals. I used to think that I used to have to take people home, not actually take them home, but take their problems home, and I was going to fix their problems. That's not the case. What I've learned is that I need to be kind to me. And so there's different affirmations that I use. There are different tools. And one of the tools that I'm going to go into, that one of my favorite ones is, and I was talking to my sister Cassie about this earlier, is the tool of letting go. Have you ever thought that you're never going to get out of this? Have a lot of people in your life died? Has somebody been shot? Have you got a divorce? Did you lose your job? Are you having trouble with somebody in your family? Your relationship's not going well? Well, this is a phrase that I use, and it's from Access Consciousness. My brother Dane here told me about it. Everything is the opposite of what it appears to be, and nothing's the opposite of what it appears to be. Now, you repeat that over and over again, you might like, what the hell is that? Everything is the opposite of what it appears to be, and nothing's the opposite of what it appears to be. That is like a clap of change, a magic wand that actually shifts the energy. What if things are just the opposite of what it appears to be, and what you think you're aware of was yours, but it's not? Guess what? It could be somebody else, or it could be the earth. Turn on the TV if you have a TV. What do you notice? When you watch the news, do you feel joyful or do you feel heavy? And I always wondered, who came up with the concept of news? And when is somebody going to come up with the concept of news when it's not always negative? This country's bombing this country. This politician is sleeping with this kid. Racism is all-time high. Police put their knees on people's neck. Person takes a knee and they're wrong. A group of people upset with the country and they storm the Capitol. Storms that we give names have attitudes and they come and destroy cities. Just negative after negative after negative after negative. And you wonder why we have this problem called depression. I'm not saying depression is not real. What I'm saying is it a possibility that depression is awareness of all that stuff that you're picking up. If you live in an apartment complex, you have 300 people. Energetically, it's the energy coming through the walls and you're picking up their sadness or their despair. So next time you get in that space, I'm going to challenge you. Everything's the opposite of what it appears to be, and nothing's the opposite of what it appears to be. Hey, what's up, my cousin Ned? Negative, negative. Yeah, Megan. People like be negative. They love the negative. And I got to the point that I will cut anybody loose when negativity shows up. You could be my family. Now, this ain't you, Megan. I ain't saying this all, but I'm just saying this is just an example for people. Some people will stay in negative situations with their family because it's their family. I have a friend, T. White, and he was talking about my family, my family, my family. Guess what? It's ready. But anyway, I want to give you guys this other gift. The soup is, I'm going to do something while this is cooling off. I want to read something that's very dear to me. And then I'm going to show you this soup. But now, here's the thing about a pressure cooker. If I grab this pressure cooker and I take the lid off, it's going to be destruction. There's going to be soup everywhere. I'm going to end up going to the hospital, and it's going to be a jacked up night. So when you have a pressure cooker, guess what you have to release? And I hope you guys can hear me. I hope this doesn't take too long. You see that? I hope you can't see that. There it is. You see it in the flame there. It's releasing the pressure. Okay? So while it's doing this thing, every morning when I wake up, I have my dear sister, Molly Mandelberg. She created this box of oracle cards. Wild Hearts Rise Up Oracle deck and guidebook. And today, let's put this here. Can you guys see this? Let's put this here. Put that there. Okay. Marcy Lester, done that for years and finally letting go of that. Yeah, you got to let shit go, y'all. You got to let it go. Life is, see, I used to think life had to be hard. You work a long time, you do this, you do that, and you have to work hard. Where's the joy and ease in that? I mean, when I look outside, I see nature showing us a lot of joy and a lot of ease. But we continue to find the negative aspect of that, and life fucking ends up sucking. So I'm going to share this. Not at my house either. I live with 3 bottomless pits. Yes, bottomless. And I want to share something, you guys. This is a card that I pulled today. If you have this deck called The Wild Hearts Rise Up Oracle Guidebook by my dear sister, Molly Mandelberg, I pulled card number 14, and it's brilliance. And I'm going to read this to you as the soup is still doing this thing over there. Brilliance is not just about shining out. It's about engagement. It's about drawing inward the beings, forces, resources, and energies required to make something beautiful, functional, and bright. Shine like the gleaming gem you are. Be willing to push and pull the energy around you to bring what you desire to create into this reality. Attention is tantamount. Give it, take it, use it. This card is about recognizing the power within you and what's possible when we choose to direct it intentionally out. Share your magic. Speak your truth. Increase consciousness as you go. Be brilliant. That's the conscious note for tonight. Now back to the soup. I hope that hit somebody. Maybe spirit or universe want me to share that with you. Okay. Now this is going to get kind of difficult. The chicken, John, laugh aloud. Good lessons for the soul. Yes. Hey, I'm trying. Okay. So I'm going to open this very slow. It just sang to me again. Now, we're going to finish this off. So the first thing, I got to take my spoon out. So cold ingredient, put that in there first. Now, I won't put it back on pressure because there's a line in the pressure cook, and I'm beyond that. I wish I had people to share the soup with, but I guess I'll take it over to one of my guests that was supposed to be here because her family is sick. Okay, stir that up. Now I'll add this other chicken. You guys see that? And the potato that's been chopped up. And what I'll do, I'm gonna spoon this so you guys can see what this looks like. But before I do that, remember I told you my fancy basil? So I'm gonna just pull the leaves off. Oh my God, I wish you guys could smell this. It's delicious. I'm not gonna drop the whole stem in there, even though I like the stems, but I don't think Tori would like that tonight. So let's see. That camera would come in. Only my, I'm gonna tell you guys the story. I used to call the guy Gino who just said left that last message a rat bastard, but I love that rat bastard. There's stories that we can tell about each other that I think we should just leave. Like, what happens in Vegas happens in Vegas. What happens at Rockhurst stays at Rockhurst. That's the university we went to in Kansas City. Whoop, whoop, representing the Hawks. I almost forgot who they were. Okay. Voila. So I'm going to spoon it, right? Because I want to see. I got you. Hold on one second. Let me grab a bowl. So Megan is my cousin, my first cousin. So you guys, my Uncle Boris, I think she's not my youngest. I guess I'm the oldest cousin in our family. She's probably like the third, maybe fourth. I don't know. Megan, which line are you? It's me, Derek. Is it you? I think it's you. But okay. Anyway, are you guys ready? Let me get the right ladle. Stay there. I'm making a mess in my kitchen. Okay. Are you guys ready? Okay, Megan, check this out. You said you wanted to see this. So this is that delicious soup. I don't want to spill it. It has mushrooms, carrots, and nothing's overcooked. Check it out for you. Oh my God, guys. Now, you see how quick that was? Yes, Connie, yes. I did that, let's see, in 41 minutes. The secret is that you could have actually started this if you did part of it the night before and you put the ingredients in there and you put the timer on. You could open the door, take the top off, add the additional chicken, bam, you've eaten in under 15 minutes. Until next time, y'all, thank you for hanging out with me. This is John Ashford at Orgasmic Conscious Cooking. Please go over to www.beingjohnashford and show me some love. And also click on YouTube and follow me. If you have any people that you think might enjoy this, please pass it on. I'm trying to do this big. My goal, my dream, well, huge dream, is to be on the Food Network. Until next time, peace and blessings. Love you guys. Enjoy your life. Be kind to you.